So, Blade and Sorcery U12 just dropped, and with that has come so much stuff. Like you can see right here, we're jumping straight into the water for some swimming. Now, I am voicing over this because my audio messed up, but whatever, we're just going to get straight into it. So yes, the swimming is in U12, and it's fantastic. We've waited 6 months to be able to have a use for the water, and I cannot wait to see what dungeon rooms there are to try this out in. There's also going to be ways of like swimming underwater with enemies, I imagine, and drowning them, so that's going to be really cool. There are also 6 brand new weapons for you to try out in the form of tools, with the pickaxe, the rake, the sickle, 2 really unique kinds of pitchfork, one with kind of shorter claw-like ends, and one with obviously much longer standard looking pitchfork prongs. And we also have the hoe, which I have plenty of these, but I wouldn't mind having another one. Now, moving on to our next new feature, which is breakables. Yes, all pots and clay and everything like that, even like tables, chairs, whatever you can think of you could break, you can now do that. And honestly, you wouldn't believe how satisfying it is until you actually get in and do it yourself. Smashing pots over enemies' heads is one of the most fun things I've ever done in Blade and Sorcery to this day. Now, the menu also got a bit of an overhaul. As you can see, it's been completely changed here, and we have a mods section now where you can see all your mods. And actually, if we head over to the sandbox section, we have a couple new cheats. Just down here we have free climb and dismemberment, so we'll try those out, you'll see soon. And they kind of remove the need to have certain mods, which is really cool. Now, when I head over this wall, my hand does go just straight through the wall, so there's still some jank, but the free climb works, and it's so good, so I cannot wait to try using that in a dungeon. Now, a few things to mention is that the dungeons have had a complete lighting overhaul, and they've added a few new objects in certain areas. Now, one thing I wanted to test here is the new enemy shield kind of animations, and honestly, they're really cool. You've got some like new swings where they swing round the shield here, and as you can see, he even goes for a shield bash here, which that is so good. To finally see enemies using their shields is a really impressive feature, and I hope the animation overhaul continues to expand like this. Now, one key thing to mention that I cannot show you here, but you'll be able to hear when you get in game, is the dungeons have a dynamic music system now, so when you kill an enemy, there's a sound effect within the music. Whenever you get into combat, music riles up the more you're fighting and slows down the less you're fighting, which I think is really cool. To not have just one set of music, but to have it kind of dynamically go up and down as you're fighting is a really cool concept, and I love that. Now, one important thing to note is there are actually around, I believe, 20 something new dungeon rooms, which is huge! That's so much more content. As you can see, here's one of the bigger rooms that I found, and oh my god, does it look good. Honestly, with the whole housing area and big like battlements around, the new lighting just really plays into that, and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun to fight in. The new little cave systems you can find are really cool, and I really think they've expanded upon what the dungeons are and how much playability these dungeons are going to have. I've heard there's water rooms that you can find that are going to be really cool as well, so I want to show you something that I found here. So I went inside of this small little mill building and climbed to the top of it, and I found this hook that I could swing on, and when I did, it swung me right over to this ledge that I could grab onto, climb through the window, just like this, which I thought was just, it added so much immersion, and I was able to step down onto here and find a new way round onto this bridge to do my stealth kills. Now, the amount of immersion and world building this kind of stuff does is incredible. I really do love it. I think it's going to really make dungeons so much more fun. Now, another thing to mention is there are brand new interactables. There are doors that weren't in dungeons before, which is really cool. There are actually trapdoors, which I haven't managed to find yet. I really want to find a trapdoor, I just couldn't find one yet. But dude, that could add so much more exploring to the world. It just really feels unique if we've got different ways of exiting rooms now rather than just open doors, which is really cool. But the other interactable I found was, again, this hook. Now, you can actually impale people on this hook and turn them into kind of a meat bag. Now, it's not easy, but when I eventually do get it, it's really cool. Like, this kind of stuff is just creative. I feel like there can be some really creative stuff done with this, and then I proceeded to fail, like, to chop his head off until I got it. But anyway, I think, honestly, that's going to do it for this video. I think that is most of the stuff covered. Here we go into the last dungeon room, and I just want to say I didn't cover the mod menu. I'm going to cover that in a separate video and how to use that mod menu in another video. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you really learned some new stuff about U12, and just let me know what you think of the update. And I will see you guys in another video in a bit.